Hello there and welcome back to Trinity Stamps. Carrie Rhoades here. I'm very excited to be sharing with you a shaker card today using the circle shape card die set and one of our circle shaker pouches. They go great together, the largest size with this brand new shape die set. Now this card was inspired by cheese bagels. So this is the circle shape card die set. There's one large die here that is going to create a card that's a circle. It's got the scored line in it for you, and it's about 4 1/4 inches in diameter, so a really good size for a card. So I've cut that out from some really light yellow cardstock. This is going to be the base of my cheese bagel. Yeah. Okay, for the top, I'm going to do that same die again, but only die cut out one side of it. So I have that edge of the die that scores it right on the edge of the paper, and I cut that from some light orange cardstock. I need a little bit of a stencil for this. I want to create the illusion of the hole in my bagel. So I die cut the frosting layer from this die set, which would normally be used to create a donut, like a frosting layer on a donut. I die cut it from some just copy paper and then use that as a stencil to create like a faux hole in my bagel. So I'm using 2 different shades of tan and brown to create this look, and one was tea dye, that was the lightest color, and then vintage photo, and I just went back and forth between the two, keeping it a little bit darker on the edge of that circle. And then just with the ink left over on my mini blending brushes, I'm darkening up the edge ever so slightly. I didn't want too much there, but you need just a little bit to give it just a touch of realism. All right, so another thing that I noticed on these cheese bagels is that there's a little like cheese baked into it. So we're going to do that in just a second, but I wanted to show you how perfectly our large shaker pouch fits over this shape card. All right, this is the Stars and Sprinkles stencil set. There's 2 of the 4 layers that don't have stars in them. Well, the second one I'm doing has 1 star, but it's not going to be on my bagel. So what I wanted to do is just bring in some orange ink and kind of do some tone-on-tone stenciling to make it look like there's cheese baked onto this bagel. So I'm using carved pumpkin for that, and again, a mini blending brush. And you can see I just have that 1 star hanging off. I didn't really want star-shaped cheese on here. I wanted it to look like cheese and not a donut. So you have to be strategic there. And then I can just use parts of the stencil to kind of really fill in any area that might be lacking of baked cheese. And also this is going to dry back a little bit lighter, so I don't mind putting a little bit extra on there. And there's going to be things on top of this card you saw at the beginning, and that can cover up some of it as well. So I just filled it in with a bunch of cheese and avoided that star. Okay, so we'll finish that off and then you can see what it looks like. I did come in with a little bit of that tea dye for some darker areas. Okay, to stick down my window sheet that is a round pouch, I like to use rip and stick sheets. So I cut like a whole sheet of rip and stick sheets with that circle shape card. I cut it in half, and 1 piece is going on the back of my cheese layer. And then I can take the protective film off of that shaker pouch and get ready to adhere it to this circle. So I need to remove the backing to reveal the sticky part of my paper, and then I'll lay that into my circle pouch. But let me give you a few tips on like full panel shakers or infinity shakers. I like to pre-fold down the little tabs that are there. It just makes it easier to do that once you have your sticky part in. And then I like to fold 1 on each side. Sarah on our team, she says north, south, east, and west, and then you can start folding the rest. But remember that you want to leave a little opening so that you can put in your shaker bits. Like, don't get too gung-ho and forget about that. So we've got our opening here, and you can see because we did north, south, east, and west, we don't have as much bubbling on that pouch. All right, this is the shredded cheese embellishment mix. Isn't it amazing? You guys are loving it. It may currently be sold out in the Trinity Stamp Shop, so if you really love it, make sure you put your email address in the spot on the website that says notify me so you can get this embellishment mix when it comes back in stock. Apparently everyone out there is loving all the cheesy things in this Trinity Stamps release as much as the design team is. All right, so I filled that in. I thought I maybe had too many, so I actually poured some out, which is really nice when you have that tidy tray. You can put your embellishments in the tidy tray, pour them in. Oh, I've got too much, pour some out. And then you have that tray that you can use to pour those embellishments back into the bag, and it just keeps everything tidy. That's why it's called tidy tray. Okay, for my second circle of that rip and stick sheet, I am putting it on the back of this. So my little tabs are sandwiched between two layers of rip and stick sheets. Now this doesn't lay perfectly flat, so good adhesion is very important. It's always a very important thing to me. And the edges aren't, you can see they kind of bow up. So I'm going to give this every single chance that I can to stick down to this circle shaped card. That's why I added a little bit of liquid glue. Plus the liquid glue gives me a little bit of time to move this. Now I did not get it on here 100% perfect. It's okay. It's okay. I keep telling myself. So then I'm just going around it and really making sure that every single part of the edge of that card is connecting and touching the card base. So this is the Cheddar Half Stamp and Die Set. Now this is a free stamp set in a series of free stamp sets that you can earn from Trinity Stamps. So when you go to the shop, if you place a $40 order, you will get this for free in your order. Like the stamp set and the die. And didn't you see the die was now the Trinity teal color? That's for all the free dies that you will earn from Trinity Stamps. They will come in the Trinity teal color, which I love. So once this set runs out, it will be replaced by another cheesy freebie. So you never know when that could happen, but there's still some in the shop as of the day of this video being released. So take advantage of that if you love this Cheddar Half Die Set. I'm using one of the sentiments from that says, "Ain't no one cheddar than you," on the outside of my card. And then I'm going to make a little cheesy heart. So the heart is from that circle shape card, but this cheese block here is from this other die set that I just brought out called Your Grate. Isn't that cute? I think it's You're the Greatest. Yeah, anyway, so I'm going to cover that heart with the little cheddary part to make it look like a cheddar heart. I thought that was, you know, adding to the cheesiness of this card. I'm going to cover that cheesy heart with some glaze, and then I'm going to let that dry, and there you can see what it looks like. You can see my shredded cheese in there, but this card needed something on the inside. So I'm going to die cut out that word or that sentiment that says, "You're so great." And you can see like the word grate is spelled like a grater, like a cheese grater. Yeah. All right. So these letters, when I die cut them, I made sure that the back of my paper was covered with rip and stick sheets. Then I removed the backing off the rip and stick sheets, and the letters were still stuck in the die. Then I'm pressing the die to my card base, and the letters are transferring. It's magical, and it's my favorite tip. So passing that on to you, I learned it from Lauren on our design team. I'm telling you, we have such great designers here at Trinity Stamps. So make sure you check out our YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to Trinity Stamps, you can do that after you watch this video, because we do have some amazing designers. I stamped a second sentiment on the inside of this that says, "You're my cheddar half." I had to, and then I really wanted to put the cheese grater in there. So the parts that look like it grates the cheese, I die cut that from some silver cardstock. The base I die cut from some gray cardstock. I'm going to put those together. And then all the accent pieces for the cheese grater, I die cut from orange just to, you know, pull it in to my orangey yellow vibe going on here in the card. So here's one of the orange pieces. It's this teeny tiny edge piece that goes around the bottom of the grater. And then there's two handles or two side pieces to the handle on this grater, but there's only one die. So just make sure you die cut this little piece 2 times. Then the die in here that looks like an exclamation point, it's actually the handle. So make sure that you take note of that, but you know, you could also use it as an exclamation point. That works. So there is my little cheese grater. It went on the inside of the card. I also had to die cut a little piece of cheese, even though I know this isn't like cheddar cheese. Like, it's a punny, cheesy, cutesy card. It can be that if you want it to be, right? And I felt like I also needed some shredded cheese. So I pulled out the sprinkle die from the circle shape card. I die cut it from a little bit lighter orange cardstock, which is actually the same color of orange I used on the outside of my bagel. And I'm going to put those inside. And you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to put this in my husband's lunchbox with a sandwich I make on a cheese bagel somewhere in what I call Valentine's season, which starts February 1st and ends on February 14th. It's just a cheesy way to show your love, right? Okay, if you like these cheesy stamps, this one is available in the shop for purchase. It's called Grate, Grater, Greatest. Yeah, it has a little grater stamp, a little cheese stamp, and I thought you'd want to see that in case you love this stamp right here. Also, this shape card can make more than just a bagel. Yes, it also makes a donut. So let me show you a donut shape card I made with the set, and a pizza. And if you want to make the pizza, you're going to need to get the toppings from the Every Pizza Me die set that I'm showing you right there. I'm going to have all of these things linked for you in the description box below so you can check them out in the Trinity Stamps shop, and I will see you all again very soon with a new video right here on Trinity Stamps. Happy stamping! Bye!